Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Leader Tips by E. And we are on episode 7. Now we're entering into part 2. In part 1, we were talking about building your personal brand, and we talked about 5 ways to do that. The first way is understand what you're good at. What do people tell you you do very well? The next thing, how are you unique from others? The third one, what do you believe in? So think about your value system. The fourth one, what business experience do you bring to the table? And the fifth one, provide your perspectives in meetings and when you're talking to people, just provide your perspective based on your personal brand. Now we are going to talk about 5 more ways that'll help you to establish confidence by establishing your personal brand. The first thing I recommend, so this is the 6th tip, is to journal your experiences. The reason I say journal your experiences, and it'll serve and help you in so many different ways. A lot of times I believe that we tend to minimize our experiences. We minimize our accomplishments. We become so numb to challenges and what we deal with in the workplace to where we just put it to the back burner. I encourage you to start journaling daily, or if you don't want to do it daily, do it weekly, because it'll help you to recognize what you went through, what you did, how you felt, and what you learned. Not only will this help you to build your personal brand, it's also going to help you when you're articulating who you are when you show up for interviews. Because when people are saying, tell me about a time you did this, you can go back and look in your journal to see different things you experienced in the workplace. And so I highly encourage us to journal. And again, it might not be daily. Maybe you can't commit to that right now. And maybe once a week, you can commit to journaling so that you can make sure that you highlight and you recognize and remember everything that you've gone through, good, bad, or indifferent, and also what you learned from it. The 7th thing, post articles, different posts. It could just be a blog from you that truly do help to, personalize and or to magnify your brand. And when you're thinking about like what you're posting on LinkedIn, think about what you're posting on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. If you really are trying to establish a brand, and I know we're talking about at work, and your brand truly should walk away with you from work. Because if you walk away from that job or that job walks away from you, it is still your personal brand, what people know you for. And so at times you need to make sure that your posts, articles you share are helping people to understand what you stand for, and that is your personal brand. The reason that's going to be important, and I've had this happen a lot of times, where maybe I've moved on, I'm working with another company, I'm working with another client, and people will remember Ebony. She talked about diversity, equity, and inclusion. She was a dynamic speaker. They'll remember those things and they'll come back to you. I also encourage you to, with that, think about maybe 5 words you want people to be able to say about you, and or 5 ways you want people to remember you in the workplace. That'll also help you to determine what to post, what article to post, what blog to share. The 8th tip, engage in activities at work or in your communities that stand for what you stand for and what your personal brand stand for. It'll allow you an opportunity to, of course, network with other people. People see that that's what's important to you. I think about me, and one of the things, and I mentioned this on the first episode, I love teaching. I love transferring knowledge creatively. I love talking about strong women. I love and I am passionate about teen moms because I was a teen mom. And so a lot of the things that I do will probably be around that. You won't really find that I am talking about women in social media posts because that's not who I am. And so you want to make sure that your posts align to your brand. The ninth one, make connections to foster relationships and also welcome allies. You want to make connections because remember, this is your personal brand. This is not your organization's brand that they want you to be branded as. You can do all of that when you're in their company, and you still need to be developing a brand for yourself. I've said this many times in meetings that, you know what, my personal brand is very important to me, and I say that. And it is. It's very important to me. Outside of the company I'm working with, it doesn't matter. It's my personal brand. And so we encourage you to build relationships with other people that are like-minded, as you never know how that partnership will manifest and actually help you in your future. And that also with that one is welcome allies, because allies are advocates. They sponsor us. And so when your allies understand and know your brand, guess what? They will sponsor you. They will start opening up doors to allow you to walk in it. And they will sponsor you based on your brand and what you're known for. This is the way to gain leverage in a company. This is the way to build credibility in a company. This is the way for you to have the confidence you need to step in any room, regardless of your tenure, your age, your gender, your sexual orientation, your culture. It doesn't matter. And so we need to make sure that we're leveraging those relationships as well. And then the final one, and I share this with people all the time, protect your brand. And when I say protected, what I mean, an example could be maybe someone says something that goes totally against your brand and who you are. You want to make sure that you dismiss that. You know what? That was a challenge. I really didn't like hearing you say that. Can we talk? Because you want to protect your brand and what you stand for. So when people make comments or do things that go against your brand, you want to make sure that you stand for it, because your brand is important. Today, we have talked about 5 additional ways to establish your brand. Journal your experiences. Post articles or blogs that are relevant to your brand. Engage in organization activities as well as community activities that support your value system and your brand. Make connections and foster relationships and welcome allies. Protect your brand. Anything you can do to protect your brand. And one last thing I want to share. Take your brand seriously and work on your brand. I'll give you an example. I love to speak and teach. I am always watching, looking at other presenters, and I am going to stay a learner because I want to learn something from them that I can incorporate into how I show up. I'm always learning. I'm reading different articles on presentations and keynote speaking. I'm connecting with different groups to learn and to hear more about the space. Protect your brand and also always be learning. Always find ways to enhance your knowledge or your skill set for your brand. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. And I hope that if not all of these will be helpful to you, if you can walk away with maybe 2 or 3 that will help you, that's very important. What I would love for you to do is in the comment section, I would love for you to just put one of these tips you are going to implement going forward. That's going to help you to start to establish your brand. If this video was very meaningful to you, I would love for you, if you have not already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Leader Tips by _E. Also, like and share my videos. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Goodbye.